He'll say in a lower voice, "Now look. Again, I would not normally speak with you, but your reputation and the others you have spent time with over your years carries your name well as a fighter against the undead. We are interested in preserving this land, specifically, and while the magic is of some concern, in obtaining again, moreover is ensuring the Lich King never gains a foothold anywhere. He must be consigned to that little trap that he's on. And... Go on.
I completely agree. This is most dire, and we can't afford to let him gain a foothold here.
Ajax puffs out his air again and clenches his teeth. Normally, I would handle this myself as well. However, I have been... what is it called? Outranked in this. As such, I will handle this amicably. Ajax looks up, and while looking up says, "You are, as far as we are concerned, the undead hunting druid within this region who would know the most. More to the point, you have spent time in that disgusting civilization, so you would have the most experience. How should this matter be resolved?" He looks down at you.
Well, first thing is to find out who the actual agent of the Lich King is.
All right.
Then find out who its accomplice, who his or her accomplices are, and take care of all of them. That way we make sure that the threat is eliminated once and for all. This, however, takes time.
I knew where that was going. There are, rather, multiple concerns. The theft of magic gives the indication that the High Druid is weak. She does not wish to appear weak. She is the strongest of this age, the strongest any High Druid has been in several ages, and she will do her damnedest to ensure that no one walks over this land. However, I have been told that this undead affair is of greater concern. As such, with your experience, and these words are very painful for him.
Fargus smiles.
And if you, Fargus, with your peer approval, think that you can root out the problem and handle it, then the rest of Foghaven's blight will be ignored. The game shall not retreat further into the wild wood. The harvest will not fail, not directly through our intent. And my face actually hurts from how hard I'm trying to make it so that Ajax can pronounce these words. So long as you remain in Foghaven to pursue this matter and provide frequent information through that bitch, and he points up at the crow flying overhead, the forest will not act. Should you decide that you are no longer worthy of such a challenge, then the Wildwood shall take matters into its own hands. Consequences be damned.
Alright then. I will remain in Foghaven until I have solved this problem, or until I die.
There is no need for such dramatics with me, Fargus. They're best reserved for that. And he waves dismissively at Dwohurim.
It needed to be said anyway.
Very well. Let that be your motivation going forward. I will remember it.
Yes. And let me also say this. If the High Druid decides to attack Foghaven in any means, it will only benefit the Lich King in the end.
There are certain levels the Forest is willing to accept to ensure that no egregious insults or injuries are dealt to it. We will not allow civilization to walk over us.
Of course. And let me also tell you that we will still try to find the killer of your pupil.
Ajax bites down and says, That is a personal matter, one which I would relish solving myself. But if you could solve it for me, that would be splendid too. I would very much enjoy seeing the killer.
Of course. If you find him, and if you find him alive, we'll certainly bring him to you. And if he's dead, we'll certainly tell you about it.
So you know who it is?
We have some suspects, but we're not sure just yet.
Grim frowns.
It might be that we're not really sure who ordered the death yet, because it's quite clear that someone ordered it, so that you would be more hostile towards civilization and Foghaven.
All right.
So if you want us to find the pawn who killed your pupil, or the one who actually ordered it, it's up to you.
It's up to you. You can do as you would like, Fargus, hunter of undead. And I shall do as I like, subject to... Right then.
Right. Until we meet again then. And Fargus will bow.
Ajax will slightly lower his head a few millimeters. Before casting a disparaging glance at Dwohurim. You then, emissary of the Archmage, can know this. What does it matter what I tell you? I'm sure you'll come up with something. Goodbye, Dwohurim. Go on now. Run away as you did ever so long ago.
And why? Ever so long ago, do you think I will act in the same way?
Dwohurim, do know that the enemy of our enemy currently is our friend. If the fate of Foghaven is of any concern
I do not
to you
like
at the
saying
moment,
I would ally with the Lich King. Thomas, that is out of the question.
That is not what I meant.
Fargus just looks at Dwohurim with an amazed look. Like, did I just hear you say that?
Save your personal revenge for later. We can still use him.
Use him in what way?
Oh, he can do whatever it is he wants us to do. He can do whatever it is he wants to do. We have the same enemy for now, and it means that our
He does not
aims...
help us.
He might
He's going
help
to command us around. You don't know him as I do. Right now he's in chains. Just that little loud.
This matter, however, is settled for now.
It is not.
It is not.
I came here to get some concessions from the forest on behalf of the Archmage to make sure that they would not encroach on our territory once more.
And so they have done.
Yes, I believe I've been told nothing.
they have said that they will not do anything towards Foghaven. They will not send away the game. They will not harm the crop, as long as we find out who is behind this.
Yes.
Necromantic
That is the deal
curses.
you have been given, Fargus.
Yes. Is
No.
that
For now,
not
it
why we
does-
came here?
Looks
For
to
now, it
Ajax
does seem
says,
that leaving him alive is beneficial to our cause.
So, Ajax, what will you do to appease the Archmage?
Appease the Archmage. Ajax looks up at the sky. Well, what does the Archmage want?
So, well, perhaps a show that the forest has no real interest in fighting. A war you, of course, know that you could not win.
Perhaps it can be permitted that the actual construction of the highway between Santa Cora and Newport remains intact.
You must have frowned slightly. Yes. And yet that would do absolutely nothing more than it already is.
I'm not quite sure I understood your point, Dwarf. Perhaps you should dumb it down for me.
Says, well, as you see, that would not gain the Archmage anything more than he already has, and it would not cost you anything to do, so really it is an empty word and a blind gesture.
Now, if the Archmage and the Empire did not want it, why would they persist in continuing to construct it? I do believe it would ease the flow of travel and trade across that putrid little thing you call civilization. I do believe it would be of assistance regardless of your petty words, Dwarf.
So, you do not only say that it will remain in its currently dilapidated state, but that it would be allowed to fully function.
No, only that the engineers could actually make improvements on it that would remain intact. Instead of not.
Sure frowns deeply at this.
That ribbon of stone that cuts across the wild wood, why, as a concession, it could be permitted to stay there and even thrive. You would know a lot about creating things and seeing them thrive, wouldn't you, Dwarf?
Says, I'm going to be frank with you
Oh, good.
once more. I did not expect you to be as talkative as you are now, because last time I met you, you had nothing but bloodlust on your mind.
You see...
Even the time I met you before then, you murdered an entire village. Why have you changed? Is it your orders from above that have changed you?
I
Tamed
murdered
you.
an entire village. I don't remember that at all. I mean, really, how could you possibly trust one such as him? And Ajax, once again, gestures disparagingly at Dwohurim. He's been full of nothing but lies since he got here. I'm going to be frank with you, in that he just spews them like a font of ichor, poison, running out of a snake's fangs.
The wolf. You sent it to attack us when we spoke.
The
First.
dire wolf took its course, as nature does, especially in a violation of that nature upon your infringement when you decided to use your magic to speed your travel through the wood. I can see that. Why would I stop a predator from hunting down natural prey, particularly whenever said prey is violating the fundamental principles of who I am? The same with your little settlement. Perhaps you should actually learn to listen to concepts like, this isn't yours. But you dwarves are a greedy lot. Take.
Fargus will sort of shuffle over to Dwohurim and whisper to him, "It's not worth it, Dwohurim. Just let it go. I know he is an asshole."
Fargus.
What?
Let it go.
I know he's an asshole, but he's just pushing you. He wants you to attack him.
Yes,
Don't let him have that satisfaction.
He won't be satisfied for long, Fargus.
I know he won't.
He doesn't have to be.
Exactly. Good, Thomas. Good that you're with me.
I'm still saying that you shouldn't
Know that
do what you intend to do right now.
Know that if you do attack him, I won't stand by your side in this. There's no need for bloodshed right now.
Out of curiosity, what concessions are the Archmage prepared to offer the High Druid?
So looks at the actions as well, for one, allowing Fargus to operate as a Druid representative in Farkhaven for the attempt to deal with undead. Not something I'm sure that you would allow one of us to do in your forest, but I suppose we are the bigger party.
Yes, very much bigger. Right. That's about what I expected. In that case, I do believe our business is concluded. Concession
Beyond
to concession.
that, so there's there is a small matter of a basilisk.
Yes, I had heard mention of that to the east. Were I not so busy hunting down these problems?
It seems that the Druid have proven ineffective at dealing with it in time, and the Archmage would rather deal with it by representatives himself.
Representatives. You're here. So, you then.
I'm not. Yes,
Good.
it should be a small matter.
I would think so. All right, then. Ajax begins to back up. Concession to concession. You're clear to go. Unless there's actually something more you wish to say.
I would just add that I'm assuming we won't be attacked by anyone while wandering through the forest to deal with this basilisk.
Or anything.
Yes.
I imagine those who remain there and alive would be thankful for the assistance, Fargus. But I do not control the entire forest. I cannot speak for what a predator desires. But if you can defeat something as terrifying as the basilisk, they might give you that respect.
Of course. Just making sure that we won't be attacked by some people loyal to you while we wander around. Just so that you have your lackeys in check.
We'll be able to find you here again, right?
Perhaps. I don't need to communicate with you in order to confirm that the basilisk is dead.
I also have this crew we can communicate through.
Yes.
Yes, a bird.
Ajax once again points up at the sky.
Alright, that's... yeah, sure.
Yep. The crow is flying overhead right now.
Yeah. Well then, I think our business is concluded.
Fantastic. And Ajax, again, maybe his cheeks must hurt from all the smiling he's doing. I'll be seeing you at some point, Dwarf. I'm sure of it.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Okay. So that, if you choose to walk away, you will not be stopped.
Yes.
It's a good thing that Pixie didn't start talking.
Yeah.
I was about to
My
tell
friend.
him, but I might save that for our next meeting. Now, as he walks away, he will look to the others and says, "If it had come to that, would you have stood with me?"
Thomas visibly hesitates, but then says, I think so. I do agree that the world would be... Looks at Fargus. Nothing against you personally, but, you know, the things the Druids have done and the things that Ajax has obviously implied, meant to obviously make us to attack, force us to attack him.
Oh, I completely understand. I hate him too. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want us to attack him without cause.
Either way, right now, I think he may or may not be a help in the upcoming struggle. And if he's not even a help against the Lich King and whatever undead may plague Foghaven, then at least we have a ceasefire for the moment.
We do. And that is the most important bit.
The enemy of your enemy is always your friend, even if he's not helping you. As long as he doesn't attack you personally, that is already a victory in my books.
And I'll tell you now, Dwohurim, if you were to start something there and it was just blind lust, I likely would not have helped either. I do not wish to see more of this problem started. A ceasefire is better than anything we've had yet.
Tempus.
Got anything,
If
Gryph?
needs must, I would have helped, but... Do you really hate Ajax that much? Has he wronged you so much that you need to throw yourself into a suicide frenzy to get back at him?
If I did not have important things still to do, I would have done so.
Time will come, Dwohurim, but this was not the time.
Then promise me then that when the time comes, before we leave this city for good, that you will stand by me. When we confront him.
If it will not start a war, then I will.
I will too.
Once again, if it's not going to start more conflict, then I'm on your side for it. But
You have my wrench.
is it still covered in blood?
Yeah, he'll
No,
nod
I
to
think
Tempus, and he is unlikely to forget Tempus's loyalty compared to the rest of them. He looks defeated and seething with inner rage.
Fargus is happy.
Yes, he is.
Bouncing through the forest.
No, not
His
really.
Druid way.
Yes.
It's peaceful way.
Disgusting.
A matter to resolve then. What will you do with the man you have recovered of sorts, Robart Locke?
I'll guess
Bring him
we'll
home.
take him back to Foghaven.
Right.
Sure.
The man will give his like concerned warnings about Ajax kind of filled his mind with if he returns he's gonna be gutted apart by a mob again, isn't he?
No, he's not.
No, we'll have Bjorny send you. Well, when Bjorny wakes, he'll send you to where your wife and son is. We saved their lives.
Those were his other questions, but if they're alive, that's a big relief for him.
So which of the five of us tell him what just happened there?
Sure, we'll tell him.
Okay. With that in mind, then, you folks are free and clear. You don't have an immediate timetable threat, as far as you're aware, hanging over your necks. Certainly, you have lots of freedom to pursue opportunities at your leisure. The next day, you will receive a standing notice from a a representative of the priestess who says that the next time that your group is in Santa Cora, some of the officiaries would be interested in hearing your story and tales of what has transpired. And so you are welcome to rest at the cathedral for like a day while they're interested, want to hear what's transpired. They're interested in the story. So,
I will have other important matters to attend to.
Yes, there's that standing
You have to go
invitation.
back after you bought your wine anyway, right?
There's that standing invitation. The wedding's probably over by this point, right?
It would be.
So,
Still going on.
So yes, the longest wedding. So yes, there's that, and you don't have to take him up on that right now. It's just a standing invitation to make an appearance at the cathedral. In addition, Bjorny is interested. He works during the afternoons and evenings, but his wife can adjust her schedule as need be, and having a Thomas, since apparently he has a bit of background with bartending, serve the bar while Bjorny is recovering from his wounds.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd like to have Tempus help bring in business to the bar.
Oh. Well, perhaps that can be discussed during however much downtime you folks would like to take. There's the Basilisk matter to which to attend, which you folks can do so in your own time. There's also attempting to continue to hunt and pursue whatever might be the cause of any undead threat, unless you're done here. You certainly have other threads and leaves, and you can fucking leave Foghaven if you'd like.
Fargus will certainly not leave. That's not happening ever.
Ever.
If you guys leave, I will have to make a new character. That's not.
Now then, if I help you take down Bree, you help me take down Ajax, right? That's the deal.
Again, if it doesn't start a war, if we can get him to sort of take this as a personal matter rather than an affront to the forest or something like that.
What do you mean, personal matter?
It pretty much seems to be personal already.
Yes,
It's
it
very
is.
personal.
Yes. And I'm sure we can convince the other druids of that, maybe.
Sure, I'll gladly talk to them afterwards.
We might be able to do that. Then yes, I would. And you would need my help in the forest.
I suppose then Bree is our next concern.
Yes, and also the basilisk. I think we should deal with that.
After we
But-
kill Ajax. Then,
Right.
in that way, it is much more apparent to the other druids that we are not intending to fight war with them.
Well, it would also lead Ajax into a sort of false sense of security if we kill the basilisk.
Or we won't have it to kill it afterwards again.
Well, if we kill Ajax first, the other druids might be hostile to us, and it might
Yes,
be...
and then we kill the basilisk, and they will realize that we are not, in fact, fighting for.
I think they will try to stop us and make our...
Not immediately.
effort.
They won't be that fast. They're usually very widespread around.
I guess so, but I still think they will make our progress more difficult.
Perhaps.
And it might also sort of ease the High Druid a bit if we kill the Basilisk before we take on Ajax. She might get kind of upset if we just go and kill him without doing what we have promised. And she will certainly know right away.
However, I still believe my plan is the best. And as this is the Archmage's duty, I think we should deal with the undead problem first, then Ajax, and then that.
What do you others think?
We'll start with undead and we'll work on the rest later.
I'm putting your case ahead of mine. Have that courtesy.
Well, I sort of think we should take care of the Basilisk first, but... Alright.
The basilisk is a
It's not going anywhere.
concern, but
That's not what Lord Enitor thinks.
and it will go faster than trying to find the necromancer.
That's right. Dwohurim won't even be here next session anyways. You want to go fucking, go kill the basilisk, he can't stop you.
That's true, I suppose.
In that case, it could be like you guys go kill the basilisk, like, that's not important. No, I refuse, absolutely.
I wouldn't be stubborn. He probably has something else important to attend to.
Yes.
Perhaps his accusation of Bree has forced him to do a bit of explaining. Something akin to that.
Could be the case.
Yes, that is something you can think of
Which
as well.
problematic, because now we don't have the proof anymore. But, there probably is something.
That's something that you can think of why Dwohurim will not be traveling with the players next session. Anyway, as noted, that's the end of this session. Unless you really want to swerve back around and fucking spit in Ajax's eye and fucking attack.
We could still do it.
Yeah, no.
It's not happening.
Man,
If you
I'm
don't
just
do it alone.
imagining